Hello, Guru Nation, and welcome back to another episode. These are my favorite of all episodes. We interview former students from the
Mhm.
CRA Academy who get hired. And Deborah, so we have Deborah Adams. She just got hired by a large academic institution. We won't mention who it is, but it's not hard to find out if you connect with Deborah on LinkedIn. Her links are
Yes.
in the show notes. So LinkedIn is like huge for you guys. You guys need to network. Uh, these are my favorite kind of episodes because, first of all, we have a lot of students that do go on to get hired. I would say about half of the students within 6 months of taking the course get hired in some capacity in research. But I don't get to interview that many, Deborah. Like a lot of
Really?
people get hired and then they don't have time for the interview. Some are nervous, I understand, but
Yeah.
I always love it when I get someone who wants to come on because there's going to be a lot of people wanting to reach out to you now too.
Right.
Like Monica was a recent one, Monica Katri. I think she was in your class initially, and she's already on like her third job in the industry. And it's crazy.
Wow.
So we could talk about that too with your case. But first of all, thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome. I knew I had to after being a part of your academy and what you guys do in the process of getting a job. I was like, this is the least I could do was
Thank you.
join his class because I get nervous too, but I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's
At
gonna
least
be
to
more
help
than fine.
somebody out there. Yeah.
It'll be beyond fine. It's the first step of like building your brand too, because just because you're an employee doesn't mean you don't have a personal brand in
Right.
research, and especially you with a LinkedIn now. So you're gonna have, I mean, this is just the beginning. You're gonna have job recruiters reaching out to you. Hopefully, the organization you're working with is going to keep you happy there. But
Right.
that's one of the problems with research is the high turnover. We could talk a little bit about that too. But the hardest part of all is getting in, getting your first job. And you just got it. And you took the
Right.
long route. You took the scenic route to get there, Deborah.
Right.
So explain what happened? You joined the CRA Academy like not this last class, but the was it October?
October 2019. Yes.
October 2019 you joined and what happened during that class?
I was okay. I enrolled like a student, like everyone else. The class was really informative. I loved how it kept you on your toes with assignments, exams, midterms, quizzes. I loved that aspect of it. But towards the end, I did kind of get comfortable with, I guess, just getting busy with other things going on in my life that I didn't make it to the finale to where I would pass and get into the internship because that was like the main goal also was to get the internship, to gain that experience, to put on my resume and put on LinkedIn. So I saw it as an investment doing like me getting into this industry and like, okay, to do this internship, I'm going to have to redo the class, which I did in February. I was able to join the second week in February. So I was prepared knowing what I learned previously from October to what I'll be learning in February. So I knew I knew the schedule, like all that I already knew. It was just for me to be on top of all my assignments, which I did, and I'm so happy I was. And just getting help from you, Chris, Vincent, like the whole crew, y'all are like so helpful.
Thank
So
you.
that was nice. That was a good like second time around to really prepare myself and be grounded in what I'm trying to do here. And
Yeah.
it
You
was
you might
been
be the
awesome.
first. You might be the first one to that just goes to show you like it's not really a lot of people like put too much emphasis on failures and your
Mhm.
failure really didn't really have much to do with your value as a person or as a job candidate. It just was timing, right? Like the
Yes,
holidays, that October class was weird because it ends right around the holidays when people start getting busy.
right.
But now you have like you were in the February class, so you had to retake it. You had to pay
Mhm.
the fee. We used to not charge
Yes,
a fee, Deborah, but here's why we charge the fee now. Uh, the people who would fail would end up failing again the next class. So we wanted to make sure that there's like some more skin in the game for
yes.
and you're the first one, honestly, that I can remember who repeat and got hired just like that. Like as soon as the internship started.
Yes, yes. It was worth it. I didn't think it'll be that soon. I really thought from interviews you've done, like when I hear people say, they applied to hundreds of places, maybe it took over a year. I kind of had that might happen to me, especially with COVID, that, oh, this might really be a
Hmm.
process, but I was willing to do it. Like I just
Yeah.
knew day somebody who was gonna say, yes, we want you.
I mean, every class has their issues. Like yours was ended right around the holidays, so there's a lot of
Right.
distractions there. And then like this May class was like in
Hmm.
the middle of COVID, right? And
Yeah.
now we have the August class. This is our biggest class ever in August. I had a
Wow.
question from a viewer,
Okay.
um, and because this is you can help him, okay? Because
Okay.
he's not a student of ours, but he's just somebody who follows me on Instagram and he's frustrated. So third round of interviews, and I was told I wasn't advancing because they were looking for more patient slash clinical experience. Of the people who interviewed me, one worked as a butcher, one a Boston Red Sox groundkeeper, and one had a degree in accounting. So he's kind of confused why he's not getting hired. I told him it's a numbers game, just keep going. I mean, look, this is
Right.
like related to what you were saying or what I was saying. Like, just because you failed the class the first time, or like in this guy's case, just because he went to one interview and they happen to choose someone else, that has no reflection really on you. Like that just could be that guy was the other guy they hired was a better fit. If I go, I've been in
Mhm.
this industry 15 years. I bet you if I go to 10 interviews this week, I'm only getting maybe half of those jobs like offered, right? It has nothing to do with me. It's just timing. Like maybe they don't want me.
Right.
Yeah, but like who knows? But like people are too hard on themselves, I think,
Yes.
when it comes to this.
Yes.
So I'm glad you weren't. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
those
weren't.
rejection emails will make you feel that way, and I totally get it. But I guess you just have to think like, okay, I wasn't meant for that position, or I wasn't meant to be a part of this company to kind of keep you moving and motivated. That the one that does it will hire you is out there that will definitely hire you.
That's
You
right.
just have to keep in mind.
Use the fuel, use the hater. They're not really haters, but use the negativity as fuel for your,
Yes.
to propel you forward. Like Michael Jordan, when he got in the Hall of Fame, in high school, he was benched, and some other guy, I think his name was like Larry something. He was
Hmm.
given the spot over Michael Jordan, and that fueled Michael Jordan's entire career to the point where when he got his Hall of Fame speech, he invited that guy, that player, to the ceremony. So that really, like, that propelled him. So I think a lot of people should look at job hunting the same way. Like, just because they don't want you and they don't see the value, first of all, maybe you didn't show them the value, or maybe they
Right.
just really saw somebody else that was a better fit for them. Doesn't mean you're not good,
Right.
right?
It
So
does.
I'm really glad that you had the right attitude, even failing. I know failing the class sucks because who wants to take it again? You just put 3 months into it. Now you're gonna have
Right.
to do it again, pay like another fee to take
But
it.
I honestly did not mind again because I knew it was. It would be a difference if there was a gap. I gave myself a gap and maybe joined the August class. Like, oh, let me give myself a break. But I was like, no, I just finished. Let me keep it going because I won't forget what I just learned.
That's
It'll be
right.
just repetitive, but more focused on what I need to do to get done to pass and move on to do the internship.
I
Because the
like that.
goal is learning it to get that internship,
Mhm.
like for
Mhm.
sure.
And then you did the internship, and
Yeah.
what was the like? What did you? How did the internship help you? It's a breast cancer study. Do you think that helped you with your interview, like with your job interview?
Yes, because even though we didn't get to physically go to California, I liked that we were able to still walk in the shoes of a CRA. Based on the softwares that they may use, ours was slightly different, but we had the idea of what it was to be a CRA with verifying documents, knowing the drug, and how to do a report. And yeah, it did help me because I mean, my position is not exactly a CRA, but it's still along the line of clinical researcher. So, and the way I had that on my resume was something that they, it stood out to them. Apart from my previous experience too, because I have a background in EMR systems with
Oh,
hospitals.
okay, good.
Yeah. So that kind of altogether helped in something that
Yeah. What is
and
that
but
EMR? We had other students that had that background too. There's like a, oh, I just did someone's resume. Did I ever do your resume too?
no.
I never did your resume and you still got the job. Look, guys, all you gotta do is take the class and by the way, taking the class is like I understand not everybody can afford it. You can
Right.
still go find intern. You can educate yourself online, watch the videos, like get the book. It's only like $30, and then
Hmm.
go to clinics near you and say, "Hey, I want to volunteer here, but I noticed you guys don't have a Facebook page or an Instagram page. How about I run that for you for free, and in exchange you let me volunteer or do anything." I don't know what
Right.
people's skills. People have different skill sets, but
Right.
there's ways to get the internship. This is not. I love the testimonial for CRA Academy, but the point of this video is not really to get more students. We have a full class. Like, and our next one's not till January. So it's not about
Wow.
that. It's about inspiring somebody out there on the other end of this video.
Right. Right. I
So,
agree.
so Deborah, like, how many did you have to apply to?
How many companies
Yeah,
or
you like how many applications did you send out?
I made it a job for myself. So minimum a day one. There were days where I didn't maybe because the primary places I looked was Indeed and LinkedIn. Those were
Okay,
the two go tos for me.
those are my
And so
go-tos also. Those are the best
yeah,
ones.
and sometimes the jobs posting is not maybe something I may qualify for, or I felt not my not up my alley as far as maybe a little too advanced, and I won't apply because sometimes there won't be a job posting that I can apply to available on that day. But when
Okay.
there is and there's multiples, I would just knock out all the ones I felt I could do that I would be qualified for. If it was slightly above what I could do, I still applied because I'm like, you never know. Some of them may be willing to train you or work with your experience and what you have.
Mm-hmm.
But I minimum try to apply at least one post a day.
Wow, okay. And the one, so how many interviews did you actually get? Like from, did you do any interviews where they rejected you?
Definitely,
You did.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. For June, I believe I applied to various places, and one interview seemed really promising as far as the way we spoke and the things they asked me. I felt like I nailed it inside of me. I really did. And then I didn't hear back. I reached out maybe after a week because it was a position they were looking. They're interviewing four people, but only two spots to fill.
Hmm.
And when she responded, she said it was a tough decision, but we've chosen the two candidates that we wanted. So I said, okay. And she said, if we do need anyone to, if they need any more people to hire, they would reach out if I would still be interested. And I did say yes, but I never heard back from them. So I moved on and kept applying.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like you got better each time you interviewed?
Yes, definitely. I would say my confidence increased because I kind of had an idea of the kind of questions they're going to ask me. Though this interview I did versus that one, the questions were kind of completely different, but I still have an idea of what they will ask.
Hmm.
It's not always easy because you don't know what you're walking into as far as what they want to know about you, but I feel pretty confident the way I do my interviews. I think it's like once I'm in it, I'm in it. I can't go
Yeah.
run or hide. It's just whatever you ask me, I'm gonna answer.
You seem like you mentioned confident already like twice. And it's funny when you were talking, I was thinking the same thing. What made you so confident? Were you always this way? You seem very
No.
confident, like a
If
very
you
confident
meet
person.
me, you'll oh, if you meet me, you'll know I am the shyest person. Like even for doing the podcast, if I can, I was like I felt like I was doing an interview again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so
It's not that
nervous.
bad, right?
I'm
We're
like,
just
just
talking.
it is. It really isn't. I'm like, just do it. And again, it could help somebody out there. And I think my mind just is programmed to where once I'm in it, I'm in it. I can't like run. I can't be like, I'm sorry, I have to go now. I just have to start talking
Yeah.
and you answering my the questions and explaining and
Well, I think there's something there because like self-starter. I'm trying
Hmm.
to figure out why because you were in our academy.
Yes.
I didn't even realize until before this interview that you took the class once and had to retake it. I didn't even know until you told me.
Yeah.
So that tells me that, even though like I do the mock interviews for people who are about to get hired, and it's like sometimes people, I mean, there's no problem with doing that. I'll do it with anybody from the class as long as you're doing the internship.
Hmm.
But you didn't even reach out. Like you were confident to the point where you were like self-starter. There's got to be something there. And I think that, I don't know if it's a skill or just like a trait that you have, comes off as positive in your interviews. I wonder if there's something to that there.
Possibly because my fiance, we both watch you, by the way. So I've seen your interviews, Instagram, YouTube. I've seen them all, and I pick a little bit from almost all your interviews. Even Victoria, I kind of connected with her because she was in towards the end of our class in February. She spoke, which
Yeah,
was helpful. I learned from her. And he told me to send my resume, and I was just like, no. I think that's where the shyness kicks in because I'm like, I know my resume was not gonna be like looked bad or anything, but I was just like, I want to try on my own first. I think that's where I kind
that's
of think it.
good.
Like, let me try my own first, see how far I go, and then I can seek more help.
And the fact that you did that and that you succeeded like pretty much on your own, uh, meaning without my help doing the CV or like coaching you, even though you could have got all that too,
Right.
uh, it's gonna continue to build your confidence in the future because you're just getting started in research. I mean, you started like basically at an entry level position and with a big institution. The goal is still
Right.
CRA for you.
Yes, definitely, definitely, yes.
Yeah, so you're on the right track. Like people are gonna find your LinkedIn, they're gonna network with you. There's no reason why you can't be a CRA and working
Right.
for I know the institution you're gonna work for. I mean, that's gonna look great on your CV, and they actually have CRAs within as
Yeah.
well. So once you get in and get comfortable, you can start talking to HR about, hey, how do I get on this track? But keep building your LinkedIn, keep networking.
Okay.
One of our newest instructors, Ashley Margot, she teaches people like how to use their LinkedIn to build their personal brand. So you're doing that, like just by doing this podcast, and now you're gonna have people reaching out to you. So it's really cool. Like, what is your 1 year plan, and then like maybe your 5 year plan?
1 year will definitely be in the position I am in now, to get my feet wet and know really how this position, just really be very familiar with this position and do it really well. And then from there, work my way up. If it's not immediately CRA, I can go up to CRC and just, but by the fifth year, I would love to have made it to senior and CRA
Mm-hmm.
level
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Are you gonna be doing oncology stuff with where you're at right now?
Yes, I will be.
Okay,
Even
okay.
a cancer drug. Yes,
And did you put the, because in the internship we do breast cancer, did you put that on your CV?
I did. I wasn't
Wow,
specific.
they didn't.
We did know, and
Okay.
it wasn't on purpose. I think it just because you apply so much. I don't.
Yeah,
I guess it's good to go back to your resume to kind of maybe make some changes that will apply to that position. But I didn't do that, and it
that's
could have
okay.
been innocently forgetting to
Yeah.
um, add that to it, but
No,
I
but it's
didn't.
okay. I mean, I was just asking because I'm wondering if that was, if they saw the oncology experience and they decided to give you, but it didn't. So that even more reason for you people out there who are not in the academy, like what's
Right,
stopping you from doing what Deborah did? I mean, really,
right.
you're just stopping yourself. Look at Deborah didn't wait for anybody's permission.
No, just kept going. I guess when you really, especially it's something you want, like you've heard about it, you knew it's something you can do. Because I'm coming from a contract EMR background to say, so I knew I wanted to transition into this industry. I felt I align well with it, and it'll be beneficial to myself and having a family that all around it would just work for me and my family
Wow,
for sure.
very good. When did you
Yeah.
start your LinkedIn profile?
So it's been on and off. but I officially got it running this year. I think
Okay.
really when I completed my the academy,
Yeah.
try to kind of change it up a little bit to align with what I'm doing now.
And now you're gonna have a bunch. Now that you're in, you're gonna have a bunch of recruiters reaching out to you. See, the hard part's just getting in. Once you're in,
Right,
yeah, I mean, you can go many places with once your foot is in the door.
right, exactly.
But you're at a good place where I think they can have you. There's a lot of upward mobility in that organization for sure. It's just a matter of getting in, getting your feet wet. Thank you so much for coming on and wanting to do the podcast. It wasn't that bad, right? It was just a
No, it
conversation.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was good. And anyone who wants to reach out to Deborah, okay, like you're inspiring others. Just like we
Oh,
had Monica on before, Monica Catry. She's getting hit. We did that interview like 6 months ago. She's getting hit up like almost every week by somebody else. So
wow.
Deborah, you're gonna be like somebody who people are reaching out to and say, "Hey, how'd you get in? Help me out." This and that. So you're building your brand, you're building your network, which is really good, really important for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
And thank you everybody for watching and listening. And we definitely got to keep in touch, Deborah. We got to
Definitely,
follow up
yes.
and see how things are going. And you're welcome to come whenever you get your feet settled and things get safer with traveling. You can come to California and still do
Yes,
the internship with us if you want,
yes.
because it'll still prepare
Definitely.
you for the CRA stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. I definitely will.
Good. Thank you guys. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. And we'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.
Bye.